Hi, it's Ben from Return to Earth Farm, and I wanted to make a little introduction video for our channel. Sorry, it's a little bright in here. Make a little introduction video for our channel that I can show you around, show you what we're up to, show you the different animals we got here. It's a couple days after Canadian Thanksgiving, which is good because that means the majority of everyone is still here. Not very many people have gone. Not very many animals have left for the abattoir yet, and everyone's still on pasture, enjoying themselves. Nobody's come inside for their winter housing yet, so we're starting here in the laying hen hoop house, which we've got some intense egg action happening here. Hello. That's an Easter egger there with a big beard. So in this hoop house we've got 50 hens right now, and they started laying about a month ago for real laying. We have two groups of laying hens. One group is on pasture right now. They're our more mature group. This group, we got them as chicks in the spring. We like to keep them in the hoop house so they know where home is for their first year. And then next year they'll head out on the moop train, the mobile coops, where they'll follow the cattle and the lambs around to help clean up the pasture. All right, so we'll head out the back door here. I'm gonna have to put my goggles on because it's gonna get pretty sunny. Get a bit of shade in here. I've got white poly and get out of the wind. I've got a double layer white and clear up here, so gives a bit of doesn't let as much light through in the winter, but it gives a little bit of shade. You can see it's less than ambient in here. So when we get outside here, this is out the back door. Hopefully it's not too windy. So there's the hens kind of just enjoying themselves. So I got a apple core with me. Just threw it out there. They get their fair share of garden scraps and everything. So behind me, you can see the white netting. That's the, let's see if I can get out of the wind here. There. That white netting, that's the electric fence that I have for their paddock here. It's about 50 by, I'm gonna say 80. I can make this paddock even bigger. Once the other group of hens, there's about 30 or 40 out there. Once they come back, they can all come in here. I'll make the paddock even bigger. We have a goose as well. So behind me where there's some shrubs and stuff, I'll extend the paddock that way. There's a natural river will form there once it starts to get real wet. The water's trying to go, where would that be, from west to east to try to get back to the lake, and there'll be a big natural kind of river there, and the goose will really enjoy that. So yeah, this is our winter housing and where we raise the adolescent chickens until they're big enough to go on the mobile chicken coop, which we'll see in a bit. I think next we're gonna go ahead and check out the pigs and say hi to them. These are our summer pigs. Take two. These are our summer pigs. Hi. They're yeah, they're ready for their apples. So in the fall, I give them. He's gonna bite my tripod. In the fall, they give me. I get apples for them from like fallen apples or deer apples from some of the local orchards, and. I feed them a bit of apples every day. They like that. So these guys are just about full. They've been here for 7 or 8 months, and they're heading to the abattoir soon. They've got about another 3 weeks here. Yeah, they're pretty well behaved. I wasn't totally convinced that I was gonna like the Tamworth because they're a little wild when they're younger, but now that they're bigger. Hello. You keep moving out of frame, buddy. Now that they're bigger, they're a little bit more behaved. they kind of got the idea. Now you'll know. He keeps ducking away. I'm trying to get him in the frame. Hey. Hi. Ready for your apples? Yeah. You ready for your apples? All right. You can see the pigs. The pigs were here about 2 weeks ago. They've torn it up pretty good. So what I've done is I've I reseed it with pasture seed after they leave. So I'm going to take you over to one of those zones. So here, you'll see it's also torn up over here. I've seeded here, but it hasn't really been wet enough. Plus it's the fall, so it's going to take a while for it to set in. And you'll see there's a T-post. Where are we here? T-post gap right there. That's where I'd normally put a gate. So if I go a little bit further here, you can see there's actually a gate coming. There's like a gap coming from there to here, and then also going from here to there because we're at the far end of one side. So they came into this paddock. They spent about a week. Then I moved them to the next paddock. So I mean, it's starting in here, so I seeded this. It's been quite a few weeks since they've been in here, and you can see there's some clover and other grasses starting to come up. So other than that, I've got a automatic waterer set up for them that I move every time manually, but it's not too much of a pain in the butt, and it's nice and shady in here. Part of the reason that led us to decide to put the pig paddock in this area. Sorry, I'm traversing some tough terrain. Part of the reason we put them in this area is because it's very shady. So there's the little watering barrel. It's just a poly barrel. It's got a valve in it. Let me show you. Very, very high tech. It's got a valve in it. I cut it, kind of like a triangle so their ears and stuff can fit. And then keep the pipe up out of the way so they can't muck with it. And then I strapped it down. I'm getting nibbled. I strapped it down to this steel frame. So what that does is when because pigs will inevitably try to get at water so they can play in it. And what that does is when they stand on the metal frame, they can't get purchase on the barrel. Hi guys. They can't get purchase on the barrel to tip it over in, and they'll make wallows, taller than me that I would get lost in if they could tip this barrel over all the time. Here, but it still gives them a chance. They can stick their nose right in it. Hi, and they can pull. They do when it's hot. They can pull water out, and they sort of will make a bit of a wallow, but nothing like they would do if they had 20 gallons of water coming out at a time. They can stick their face in. Pigs like to stick their face down into the water, and they can blow bubbles and clown around. Let's get these guys their apples before they get too grumpy at me. Oh, they hear me coming. Oh, there's a tree branch caught up in the wire here. I don't want to get zapped. Ugh. Hi guys, watch out. Watch out. I'll show you this too. Oh. This was a what's it called? A Brussels sprout. This is a Brussels sprout stalk, which turns almost into a tree. But we learned this because we have a pretty significant garden, and we give the cutoffs. You can probably see some corn stalks and stuff here. So when we're done with the Brussels sprout plant, or they really like broccoli, any brassica, they'll come out and they just annihilate it and strip it of everything. So anyway, this is apple time. This is apple time, and they quite enjoy it. They have a normal ration of grain, but as they get more full-sized, I slow down, and they don't get as much access to the grain as they do when they're growing out. All right, guys, you enjoy that. Me and the crew here are gonna head over to I think we're gonna check out the lambs before it gets too windy. All right, so we made it. We made it to the lambs. Hi guys. And see if I can do this without getting lambs attacking all of my stuff. Hello guys. Hi, so okay, you greet me in the the sheep area. This is our little paddock. We got about an acre. So we have 10, right now we have 10 sheep on site. We've got, it depends on what I choose to do. We've got 6 or 7 breeding stock we're gonna keep and start our own herd. Historically, we would buy stock, grow it out, and then sell the meat and all that. But now that we're real farmers, we're gonna hold our own flock. So these guys are gonna coexist with our cattle. me see if I can get you a look at these guys without them bashing everything to smithereens. Hi guys, so I don't want to get too low because we got we have a ram, which will be a ram. There. This is, hey Frank, okay, that's FB, that's Frank's brother. He's one of our rams. This is Teddy. He's very friendly. He's also a ram that we're gonna keep. Back here we got Frank. Hey. Trying to kill my tripod. Anyways, we've got Frank back here. So Frank is a wether, which means he's gonna be a full-size sheep and he's gonna stick around, but he is castrated. So he's extremely friendly and he's basically broken this whole flock for us. We've got a Katahdin ewe and some other stuff happening over there. And Frank's basically made everyone easygoing and made them much more comfortable. So that's why Frank gets to stay. He's friendly, he's cute, and he's a tool. So I mean, sometimes I look at him like one of those cartoon, like he looks like a cooked turkey, and I can just see him cooked and on the table. But I'm gonna keep him because he serves a purpose, and I like having him around. And if you have ever dealt with sheep, you know how much nicer it is when the sheep are happy to cooperate rather than being scared of you, because I've dealt with flocks like that, and it's a giant pain in the butt. Frank's brother's been good. He's getting a bit rammy. I don't want to get down on the ground with him just in case, but if I'm standing up kind of lording over him, he seems all right. So we'll see how that transpires, and if he turns out to be too much of a bully, well, then we know what we got to do. So anyway, let's move on from here for now. You'll see more of them on the channel, I'm sure of it, and we'll head over to the laying hens, the outdoor laying hens, and see how they're doing today on this actually quite beautiful October afternoon. All right, we're out here at the mobile chicken coop, also known as the Moop, painted by the lovely and talented Kate, my wife. So this is our mobile egg/laying hen housing. Oh, it's windy over here. So pretty basic. You got your roosts, you've got nest boxes, food and water. Got a slatted floor there, so a lot of the manure and other detritus falls through, and yeah, it works pretty good. The manure does tend to build up a bit, but they'll be fine until whenever they go home in November, and then I can tidy it up so it's ready for next year. So let's see if we can catch some. Unfortunately, it's midday, which means a lot of the chickens like to hide underneath, and I think they're being shy. Hey, Gus. There. Hi, buddy. That's Gus, our guardian goose. Little shy. He's pretty friendly, but friendly from 3 feet, not friendly from being my pet. So you might, if you're familiar with this sort of stuff, you might. Hi, buddy. Yes, it's okay. You might be familiar with why we would have a goose, but if you're not, geese are very, very, very good they have very good eyesight. And see if we can get some of the hens. Everyone's being antisocial under the trailer. They have very, very good eyesight, and they can see airborne. Man, it's always wicked here. Anyways, they have very, very good eyesight, and they can see airborne predators quite well. So sometimes I'll be out here and I'll hear him squawking, he's squawking about airborne predators, either real or imagined in his own mind, but either way, it's okay. I'd rather safe than sorry. But yeah, as soon as we open them up, the chickens like to spend the majority of their time outside. They come in, they'll get a bite to eat. Let's take a look here. Hey guys. And then over here, I will risk the wind. Oh, I spooked him. So I've got an old water tote that I cut, and that's Gus's little pool. So it's getting a bit mucky now, but I'll give it a couple days, and every 2-3 days I'll dump it out. Longer than that, 5-6 days I'll dump it out, put fresh water in it, at least when we can afford the water, and that keeps him He's able to preen, he floats around in it. And the chickens prefer to drink the nasty goose swimming water rather than the nice clean water that I provide inside their coop. So if you're familiar with this sort of pastured idea, this is kind of a combination of an eggmobile and something else I can't think of the name of, but what I opted for is it's a little bit smaller. It's about, I don't know, 12 by 8 or something, like 8 feet wide, 12 feet long. And the reason I did that as opposed to getting a running gear and building like a massive one is we have pastures and different areas which we can go, but one of them is almost a kilometer away. And this makes me a little bit more mobile because I'm not going to ever have 1,000 laying hens, so I can have some in different locations. So I actually have 2 more trailer frames like this that I'm going to build, so we can either separate them all different zones or have a train that we chain them all together and then we tow them from place to place in the field. Oh, there's Gus, he's out exploring. So let's move on. We got some broilers to look at next. So I was planning on doing the broilers first, but this is kind of how the layout is right now. So these are our rabbits. That's our breeding stock right now. We've got 3 females and a male. Where are you? So the male's the lucky guy there, the gray guy. So these are, if anyone knows if anyone knows rabbit crosses, these are American Chinchilla, Flemish Giant, and like a Californian, just super mutts. The same farmer that I sometimes buy sheep stock off of also did and does rabbits, and that's where I started my bloodlines, and I've branched out from there. So rabbits are a bit of a tricky, touchy subject. I like rabbits. I like having rabbits around. I like growing rabbits. In our climate here in Ontario, it can be tricky with the extremely hot summer, hot humid summer, and very cold, like frigid, can be quite frigid winters, sometimes -20, -30 Celsius. And that's just completely outrageous. So it's a bit of a pain point because it's labor intensive, and I'm not interested in erecting, a 30 by 60 warehouse with ventilation fans and keeping them out of the sun and off grass all day. Plus, the abattoir costs are extremely expensive. It's 2023, and it's about $12 per animal to have these guys done at a government-approved facility, which is the only way that I'm able to sell it. So, I mean, that's already like right off the top, $12. That's like, let's say $3 a pound just to cover the abattoir. You could do gigantic rabbits, but then, that's not really... Anyways, it's a tricky market to figure out here. I know it's possible. And it's also like people aren't tripping over themselves to buy it either, which, it does sell. I sold a few, but, something like chicken, which everybody eats all the time, it's hard to argue with that sort of a market. So here, we're going to come over and check out the broilers. So here we got here you go. We have 3 where are you going here, guys? We've got 3 Salatin style chicken tractors. We've got about 40 chickens in each, so I'll probably do a more in-depth video at some point about why I do the chickens the way I do them. I just like to have the cages be this size. I like to have this density, and it just makes it a little easier for me to handle on my own. And because, again, I was mentioning with the rabbits, our hot winters or our hot summers, I have to have quite a bit of water per chicken per day, and I can't get away with having 100 chickens in one spot. I'd need so much waters in there that they'd get no outside space probably. So that's why I chose to do it the way I'm doing it. So we've got these 3 here. I'm hoping to expand next year, and you can see where they've been here. And further back, I'm not sure because it's so late in the fall, it's not really growing. but you can see the grass is getting greener. Where are we here? The grass is getting greener where the chickens have been. They traveled all the way from that fence on the far side. Where are we here? That fence over there. They've come this way. They've got 1 week left on here before, or on our property, before they end up going to be turned into chicken dinners. So here, let's. I'm gonna flip the camera around and we'll get a look at them in their cage there. Yeah, guys, eh? It's beautiful out here for October. Yes. All right, let's get you guys moved and fed, and we'll all be happy here in a few minutes. So you can see, look, see that one sticking his leg out funny? They do a funny stretch where they stick their one leg way out. All right, so I'm in here hiding out of the wind. This is a little shelter I built for the lambs when they're all small. They can stay out of the rain and stuff in it. Anyway, thanks for coming on that tour. I hope you found it interesting seeing what we're up to and why we're up to it. And yeah, I plan on posting videos of little projects I'm working on, or chores, or any excuse to try to film something on a beautiful sunny day. So I hope to see you there, and take care, and I'll see you next time.